guys, so listen, this is your very first video lesson. I promise it's not going to be too bad. It should be relatively short. You're going to need your notebook. You're going to obviously need something to write with. You're actually going to be sending me a picture of your notes when you're finished today. That is your assignment, along with getting logged into the textbook online and that sort of thing. So make sure that you get this written down and copied down, okay? We're going to start with just some really quick geometry basics. So I'm going to be showing you just some very, very basic things. There's definitely, the reason for the tuxedo is because there's definitely a formality to what we're doing now. Now is when we really start writing things formally. We talk about things formally, and this is just to help you get ready for Algebra 2, pre-calculus, and all of that kind of good stuff, okay? So there definitely is, like I said, a correct way or a good, nice, formal way to talk about stuff. So the first thing that we need to talk about with geometry and just basics, we're not talking shapes yet, okay? This is even basicer than that. So not triangles and circles and squares. We're even going smaller than that. So we're going to start with first just a point, right? What's a point? Okay, in Algebra 1, you learned that a point was a dot, and it was usually on a graph. Okay, typically we use a capital letter to use or to name a point. So please make sure that you use a capital letter. So that's exactly what it is. For the symbol, you write a capital letter A, and it is known that it is point A. Now you can actually write the word point if you want, but us mathematicians, we get lazy and we leave that out. Okay, and that's totally fine. All right, then you have what is called a line, right? So again, we're going even basicer. I know that's really not a word. It's a Hunziker word, but even more basic than triangles and shapes and things like that, right? Squares and whatever. So let's talk about a line. In Algebra 1, you graphed lines, right? And you talked about slope. So you graphed a line that maybe looked like this, had a positive slope. You may have graphed a line that looked like this, that had a negative slope. What's going to look a little bit different for us is the way that it may be labeled and the way that we write it down as far as geometry is concerned. Okay, sometimes your lines are labeled at the very end with like a cursive lowercase letter. So this little doohickey thing here is an L. That's a lowercase cursive L. And so sometimes you might see line L written like that. Okay, but there'll always be cursive letters and lowercase letters. Sometimes you're going to see a line that is labeled with points. And so let's put some points on here. So how about A and B? And you can label or write down this line. So if I'm talking about line AB, I can write AB, and I can draw a line above it that looks just like this, okay? Now, the cool thing about lines is that because they go on and on forever in either direction, you can write AB or you can write line BA. They mean the same thing, okay? They definitely mean the same thing. Speaking of, because it's going on and on forever in either direction, what if it's not, right? What if there's a point and it just goes on forever in one direction, not in the other direction, okay? That is called a ray. And rays are always drawn with two letters in them, okay? So I'm just going to use an A and a B again. But this time, it matters what direction you write, or what order, you write the letters in, okay, because it's only going off in one direction. So because this ray starts at point A, you have to write A first. And then above it, you draw a ray, okay? Now, what if your ray was BA? Let me get a different color so you can see. What if the ray was ray BA? What would that look like? Okay, well, if it was BA, then it would look like a ray that starts with point B, okay, and goes through A. So there definitely is in part of our writing and in part of our talking about it, there's definitely that formality, and you have to make sure that you write those in the correct order. Okay? All right, so let's see. We got lines, we got rays. What if the line doesn't go off in either direction at all and it's just stuck right there between A and B? So what if you have something that looks like this? What do we call it? Okay, well that is called a line segment. And so that's just a portion of the line, okay? And you write A, B, and you just draw a little segment on top of it, okay? Now, does it matter what order you write this one in? Can you go in either direction? Absolutely, because it starts and ends with the same one. Okay, so just be careful with a ray. It matters what order you write it in, okay? But with a line and a segment, it does not. Now, one of the things that you may have noticed is that there are these little itty-bitty, teeny tiny symbols above these letters. This is what I was talking about the other day when I said, if I can't read it, I can't grade it. If this is supposed to be a ray and I don't see an arrow on the end, right, that's going to be a problem. So make sure that you're writing things very clearly, okay? The last thing that I want to talk to you about is what is called a plane. And this is not the airplane, right? This is not the, airplane that, we all take, Southwest and go on a trip somewhere, or Frontier. This is a geometric plane, okay? A plane in geometry, sometimes people like to think of it as a two-dimensional piece of paper, right? This is a plane, and on this plane, there might be some points, okay? This plane can go in any direction and stand any way, but the surface is a plane. Typically, when you draw it, the picture ends up looking like a parallelogram. And then sometimes you're going to see a capital cursive letter in the corner, in one of the corners, and so maybe there's like a fancy R, okay? And so you're going to write, hey, this is plane R, and you make it this fancy thing. The other way that you can name a plane is when there are 3 points on the plane, but those points cannot be in a line together, okay? They have to be in a different area. They cannot all be in a straight line, because then it would be a line that you're talking about, not a plane. And so if it looks like this, you would just say, hey, this is plane ABC, this is plane BAC, this is plane CBA. It doesn't really matter how you put the letters, as long as you have all 3 of them, and as long as they are non-collinear. That is what I meant by not being in the same line, okay? All right, we've got one more thing to discuss, and then I promise that you're done. Look at that short video. All right, so this is the last thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, okay, and that is segment addition. So one of the really cool things that you can do is that you can work on and you can try some of these like word problem-y things, right? But what you need to know is what in the world this is talking about. And so sometimes the best thing to do is to draw a picture. And if you know what the picture of a line segment looks like, if you know what the picture of a line looks like, if you know what the picture of a plane looks like, sometimes it makes it a little bit easier. So you're also going to get a little bit of an art lesson while you're in geometry, okay? So look, we're going to go do these last 2 problems. I promise that's it. All you need to do is take a picture of your notes and submit it into Canvas, okay? So here we go. First one says, if point B is on segment AC, right? This is AC with a little line. That means it's a segment. What is the length of AB if AC is 22 and BC is 13? Huh? Okay, let's go draw a picture, right? So we've got line segment AC. So I'm going to draw a segment AC, and I'm going to label it. And I know that point B is on this segment somewhere. That means that point B is maybe here, maybe it's over here, maybe it's in the middle. I have no idea, but it's somewhere on that segment, okay? So we're going to go put it on the segment. So let's go put it on, I don't know, close enough. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's just a picture, right? It's just a drawing. Okay, it says, what is the length of AB? So how long is this piece right here? So this is what we don't know. If AC is 22, so this entire length is 22, okay? And then BC, so just segment BC is 13, so just this piece right here is 13. So we have to go find this missing piece right here. If the whole thing is 22 and just a piece of it is 13, what's the missing piece right here? You're just going to subtract. 22 minus 13 is, last time I checked, 9. Okay, so how do we write that? You write line segment AB equals 9. Done. Okay? All right, let's go look at the next one. If T is the midpoint of line segment SU, oh, I can do this. Here's SU, and T is in the midpoint. So midpoint means middle, right? Right smack in the middle. And line segment ST is 17, so I'm going to label this. That's it? That's all they gave me? What is the length of SU? Well, if this is the midpoint and this is 17, what's the other side going to be? On here, you. I'm just kidding. The other side is also 17, which makes the whole thing 17 plus 17 makes, yeah, I thought I heard somebody in that one, SU, and so, or 34. So you just write line segment SU equals 34. Okay, geometry allows you to do so many amazing things mathematically and in the real world. It is the coolest thing ever, I promise. Y'all are going to love it and you're going to have so much fun. And you didn't even know that you're going to get an art lesson either, but I'm going to give you some. So, all right, here's what you're going to do. You're going to take a picture of the table or the chart that you drew, okay, along with the segment notation problems. Okay, or the segment addition problems. Now, I wrote really big and I drew a picture. If you have it all on one, that's totally fine, but take a picture. I actually went to my Google Drive on my smarty phone. I pulled it right up. You can just snap a picture. It's going to add that picture right into your Google Drive. Again, make sure that I can read it, okay? Here is the picture that I just took. If I can't read it, I can't grade it, okay? So that's what you're going to practice today. So make sure that you, like I said, take your picture and submit it into Canvas, okay? Let me know if you have any questions, all right?